Hey neighbor, today we're talking about herbs and what should you grow, what can you grow in the South, when you should plant them, and how to use them. Welcome to the Row by Row Gardening Show, the best dadgum gardening show on the internet, where we talk about gardening, a little bit of cooking, and growing your own food. Now sit back and enjoy. Well, if you look back on our shows a few years ago, you can tell we talked about how we wanted to get into herbs. It was one of our to-dos on our garden thing. And we have went all in on herbs the last few years, and
you see all this.
It's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
We have learned a lot, and
I would say it's rather intimidating to begin with.
Absolutely.
But if you get in there, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I've been growing vegetables for 30-something years, so I was pretty well versed in that. Herbs, I was not.
Yeah,
but I've learned a lot.
It's so rewarding. Because you can use it in cooking, aromatherapy.
Well, what is the definition of an herb? The definition of an herb is something of the plant, whether it be the leaf or the root, is used in medicinal or used in food as a flavoring or used in perfumes. Mm-hmm. So that's what the definition of an herb is. Now, some things kind of fall into medium that. Ginger. Is ginger an herb? Mm-hmm. It is? Mm-hmm. Well, some people eat ginger by itself, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know if ginger would fall in there or not. Probably so. But today we're going to demonstrate to you first how we make some of our teas. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay.
This is more you. I'm following along here.
So we have some ginger.
Now, is all this things that you grew?
Yes.
Okay, this is everything we grew, and we put it in our little teapot.
Some ginger.
Ginger.
Then we have Roselle. And experiment with the teas, because some like more of this than other.
I'm going to give it a little bit more Roselle. How about that?
Okay.
I like the Roselle.
Then I've got some lavender. Mm-hmm. Which now I did buy that lavender.
But we've grown lavender.
I've got it growing. I've got some orange mint.
Is that what this is? Right
That's actually lemon balm. Gives it a good lemon flavor.
We just put a little bit of everything. And how about this right here? How about that?
All right.
Like a hodgepodge.
And then the orange mint, and then
do you normally fill that thing there up? Because I normally partake in drinking the tea, but I'm not.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
But you know how it's men are. We like to fill everything up.
And there's some stevia in there.
Stevia, yeah. I'll make a mess, of course.
That's pretty good.
All right, so now we take this and we're going to pour our hot water over it. Here you go.
There's a napkin over there. And you want to let it steep for about 10 minutes. Of course, the longer you let it steep, the more those flavors is going to come through.
Now, I've read somewhere before where you want to be really careful about your temperature of the water, because sometimes it can scald or actually do too much. But you normally just do boiling water, don't you?
Yeah.
Is that enough? Yeah, I think it's enough.
Yeah. Then you want to put your lid on it so all that flavor stays in there.
We'll let this sit for a little bit.
Okay. So why grow herbs?
It's unusual, it's fun, it's different, it's always a learning experience. So the one thing about gardening is learning. Now, old dogs like me, we think we know everything, but there's always something to learn. And when you get into herbs, there's a lot to learn because it's deep. And you can dig as deep as you want to on it. You can go shallow, do some of the most popular herbs, which probably is where I lean toward, or you can go deep like she goes. She goes deeper into some of the other things. So soaps, lotions, salves.
Let's talk about the different types. You got your culinary herbs, such as basil, oregano, rosemary, thyme, cilantro, dill, parsley, mint.
What is the most popular culinary herb, would you say? Because I know for a fact the answer to this.
Oregano?
Nope.
What?
Basil.
Basil.
Yep. More basil plants are sold in the United States than any other plant at the garden centers and things like that. I thought tomatoes would have took that, but basil is the number one.
Then you got your medicinal herbs that's used for health benefits. You can make them into tablets. You can infuse them with oil or make a tincture out of them.
Turmeric is one that comes to mind on that right there.
So you got chamomile, echinacea, coneflower, lavender, peppermint, ginger, turmeric, and ginseng. Now I've never done
So
ginseng.
ginger, and some of these is dual purpose. The
Yeah.
ginger would be a dual purpose
It's
herb.
anti-inflammatory, good for nausea, but I like the flavor of ginger.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Lavender helps with relaxation. Echinacea boosts immunity. Chamomile is a calming herb.
And these some nights I need calming, so chamomile. And chamomile is pretty too.
Yeah, here's some chamomile that I grew and freeze dried. Here's some echinacea that I freeze dried. We should have put some of that in there.
Well, it ain't too late, is it?
Yes.
I guess it is.
Yes.
Pour it over there.
But that boosts immunity.
Calendula.
Calendula, I don't have it listed here.
That's one of your favorites, right there.
Yeah. For as medicinal, I make a salve out of it. I also make a tincture out of it, and I put it in tea.
And calendula is easy to grow. It's pretty. And that's the thing about a lot of these herbs, that they're just pretty to grow in your garden. Calendula makes one of the prettiest blooms, and it grows in that time of the year where nothing else is really doing well, the fall and the winter and the early spring.
Here's some ginger. No, don't take much. That I freeze dried. I said it don't take much, like a nibble. And of course we got the turmeric. Yeah.
I gotta need some turmeric to back that up. Yeah, that's profound. I love your little plastic wrap on it. I'm gonna get 2 of these to kind of counteract some of the other.
They're pretty strong too now.
Oh, really?
And you started taking turmeric every day. Can you tell the difference? Yes.
I want to think yes.
Oh.
You have to have black pepper in with the turmeric, they
Yeah.
say, for absorption.
Lemon drop is one of our favorite ones too. And I
Now,
made
how
it.
did you make that as a liquid?
So
it's a tincture.
it's a tincture, and this is really good for mouth sores, sore throat, little sores in your nose. You can take a little Q-tip. A neighbor of mine had that going on, and she said this was the bomb. What else have I got?
All kind of stuff.
All kind of stuff.
When you freeze dry it, it takes all the moisture out of that, so it really intensifies the flavor. You don't have to use it near as much.
Yeah. So here's some stevia I grew and freeze dried it. Some tarragon. I use that in cooking a lot. Dill.
Use dill for our pickles.
Yeah, can you open that?
Yep.
And I use this, I should have brought this vacuum sealer for the jars to,
I'm not sure.
it's all right. You got a knife?
Well, I don't want to use my pretty knife on that right there. There we go.
There we go. But the vacuum sealer really seals it up well.
Why do I want to try everything?
Tastes like fresh dill.
It is, now that's good right there.
Fresh dill.
Yeah.
Okay, and then another category is your wild or foraged herbs.
Which I don't know a lot about. It's not it's not my forte, although I will tell you this right here. I have got and I'm proud of this right here, I've got my own little patch of yerba.
Yes, that's a foraged herb.
And I love growing yerba because it's pretty, it's easy to grow, and I just go down there about once a month and look at it, water it in summertime, don't do a whole lot to
Yeah.
it. But I got a nice little patch of yerba growing.
Another one is dandelion, and this time of year you can find them everywhere. I've used them to make a, it's good for your sinuses and your allergies. It's also good, the dandelion root is really good for detox. Detoxing your liver, just giving your body a little cleansing there. And then there's also stinging nettle.
They can have their stinging nettle. Now, we grow plenty of stinging nettle here on our farm.
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally, but if you have never been around stinging nettle, go to a horse barn or a cow barn somewhere out there. I can promise you there's some stinging nettle around there. Now, I know we're going to catch some heat on this right here where I am, but y'all can have your stinging nettle. I don't want nothing to do with it, that stuff.
It's great for teas. It's
the
great
devil's
for
what it is.
inflammation,
If you ever got
arthritis.
into it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It will burn you
Yeah.
alive. The first memory I can have is the kids running into the house one day, and they didn't know what they had got into. They was out there tussling around, rolling around in the ground. They got in them some stinging nettle, and it broke them out everywhere. This place that we live on now has been known to have a lot of stinging nettle this time of the year. I've done pretty good working on trying to get rid of it, but we still got a fair amount of it.
Some aromatic herbs is used for fragrances, essential oils, or teas. Is lavender. We put some lavender in here. Lemon balm. We put lemon balm in here. Your sage and your rosemary.
Sage is a good one because we love, if you ever like to make your own homemade sausage, you like to use sage. And sage is just,
It's good in turkey and dressing.
oh yeah, I love sage. Sage is probably one of my most popular culinary herbs.
Yeah. So when you go to choose your herbs, choose herbs that you're going to use. And there's some easy ones out there that you should start with, like basil, mint, oregano, thyme, parsley.
Coriander or, what's the name for coriander? Help me here. Coriander, cilantro.
Yeah.
Cilantro's really easy
Now,
to grow.
well, rosemary, cilantro, dill, and lavender require a little bit more attention.
To me, cilantro's easier to grow than those.
Really?
Yeah, I have no problem
The
growing
problem with
cilantro.
cilantro is that people plant it in the summertime, and they should plant it early spring because it bolts.
It bolts quick. That's the problem with that.
I've got some cilantro that lasted through the 6 inches of snow, and then the next little.
But in
cool snow we had.
hot weather, it will bolt in a hurry. So you need to grow it in the fall and spring, in my opinion. But I have no problem growing cilantro.
I think it's just people planted it at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Growing conditions, in general, most of the herbs require 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. Some can take it more than others, like my rosemary, my thyme, my stevia. I have those in a little shaded area, and Tracy gave me that tip that sometimes it works better.
You
with
talking about
a
as far
little
as
shade.
seed starting?
No,
Oh,
for
okay.
growing
Okay,
conditions.
Gotcha.
You want a well-draining soil.
We're turning nice and pink there.
Yeah. Water, you want to keep them moist but not waterlogged. And some, like a drier, like oregano, tends to like more of a drier soil.
You've
than
done really
others.
good growing certain ones in the raised beds.
Temperature, most thrive at 60 to 75. And they're going to get hit by frost, but they'll come back, the majority of them. And containers, some are real aggressive, so you, like the mints and the oregano, the thyme, you want to contain those in a container because they can get real aggressive and take over.
What's the worst one as far as being aggressive or getting out of control in your opinion? Because
Peppermint.
Mints. Mints are the worst at getting out and spreading on you and becoming a weed. And these chocolate mints, these spearmint mints, these all kind of mints, and they are really cool to grow because you can put them in summertime drinks and things like that. They would be good in this right here.
I've got some chocolate mint. We put orange mint in there.
So mints are fun, but they will get out. They're easy, the easiest to grow, but they will get out of
And
control.
what I found, the green stalks are awesome for containing these types of herbs.
Or root pouch would probably work pretty good.
Root pouch works good. I grew the turmeric in the root pouch, and we've had enough for over a year.
Yeah. So as far as how big of area you need to grow most of these, a raised bed or a root pouch will grow most of them. There is a handful I would not recommend growing in that. One of them would be Roselle.
Yes. So you can plant them from seeds. You can buy the little plants at the box store. And the mints, I tend to do that. It's just easier to start off with that.
Sorrel was one that we seen is sorrel, would it be considered red sorrel? An
I
herb?
think so.
We seen that at a nursery a couple of years ago in the early spring, and it was pretty. And we've since added the seed. We've got the red sorrel seeds. I love sorrel. I think you would add it like to a salad or anything like that. And yeah, it's beautiful, red sorrel.
As far as, go ahead.
You see some of those plants sometimes, you may just want to pick you up one from a garden center. Go to the higher end garden centers, a lot of times they'll have a better selection of some of these herbs. Just pick you up one or two plants, see if it works out for you before you go all in as far as seed starting goes. Now, once you move into seed starting, some of these can be tricky to get to grow.
Yeah, some of them need the, what do you call it when you put them in the refrigerator?
Stratification.
Yes. And it'll say that on our website for those that we offer. One of the common mistakes is planting them too deep.
Yeah.
They just barely, the smaller the seed, put it on top and
And just press it in.
press it in.
Yeah, some of the herbs are really weird because it actually takes sunlight for them to germinate. And it's
So you don't
strange.
cover them up as
Never
much.
with vegetables do I know we need sunlight for them to germinate, but you do with some of these herbs. And they will test your patience sometimes. What's the one that is the most problematic for you to seed start? Cornflower.
No, I don't have a problem with that. Gosh, I knew, and it's just,
Echinacea.
this cornflower.
Oh, it's cornflower, yeah.
I think lemon balm has been hard. for
Lemon
me.
balm, okay. Yeah, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna have some failures with it. It's just a matter of, you're just gonna have that. I've never planted herbs and got 100% germination. Never. But I plant plenty to give away and have some just, because it didn't take that much. And I love to give away herbs. Last year I gave away a lot.
So let's talk about ongoing care. Most of these herbs, you want to keep them pruned. That's going to encourage the growth. If you just let it get overgrown, sometimes they can get bitter the longer they're out in the sun. So
They do better if they kept cut back in that fresh growth. So most of the time what you want is the new growth, to eat the new growth. I know we've picked our favorite ones today. We're going to give you in just a minute. I know a couple of my favorite ones, the new growth works way better than the old growth on the leaves.
and then on fertilize them once a month. They really do not require a lot of feeding.
Yeah, you can put your organic fertilizer down pre-plant, and that'll take care of most of it.
Watering, it's best to water them in the morning. That prevents mold and fungus. Some of the common problems, yellow leaves, that can be overwatering, poor drainage. The soil might be a little too dry.
But normally speaking, they're very tough. I mean, a lot of them are drought resistant.
If they get leggy, they need to be in a sunnier spot. If you get some pests like aphids or spider mites, you can spray them with some neem oil or soapy water. Slow growth, just use a good compost or an organic fertilizer.
That is hot.
I want some honey in mine. Let's talk about storing and using herbs. Most of them can be used fresh. Just chop them up before you use them. Always rinse them off and chop them up. You can freeze them. One of the good ways to do it is chop them up and put them in little ice trays. So you've
I've
got
seen that.
the right amount to use, and just put them in a Ziploc bag. Drying, you don't have to have a freeze dryer or dehydrator. You can simply, and Valerie does this a lot, just hang them upside down in a cool place and they're going to dry. Or you can have these screens or trays to lay them out on and dry. I was talking to Karen. She has a lot of salves at Fancy Girl, and I asked her, how does she dry all hers? And she said, well, her kids are gone and she's got these screens all over her house that she dries them, keeps a fan going on them, and so forth. So you don't have to have expensive stuff.
No, but if you want to go all in, the freeze
If you
dryer.
want to, yeah, I was trying to talk her into a freeze dryer because within 24 hours, where it might take 2 to 3 weeks, let them air dry. You've got it. You can put them in a glass jar, use a vacuum seal, and boom, you're done.
And I hear the freeze dryer going just about every night, especially in the springtime. Running all night.
Okay, I'm going to talk about two of my favorite herbs, and that would be Roselle. Is one of my all-time favorites. There's just so many different ways you can use this. You can make a drink. And you can drink it cold or hot. A lot of times I'll do that and put it in the fridge and drink it cold.
Yep. We keep some tea in the refrigerator most of the time.
It's great for jams. It's great for jellies. What else can you use it for?
Speaking of Roselle, this is our new variety, the St. Kitts variety we're crazy about. And this is a seed crop that we grow here at Halls that we have, and it's matures out a lot quicker. Makes a bigger calyx. I think it's a superior variety of the Roselle.
That's good. You can taste that ginger in there. You okay with that?
I am. It's still a little hot.
So Roselle, also known as hibiscus, how do you say that?
That's a good one. I don't know.
Okay.
It's too big of a word.
It's a tropical plant grown for its edible calyxes, which are used in teas, jams, drinks, like hibiscus tea. It thrives in warm climates. It is susceptible to your frost and your cold.
But you know what? I honestly believe if you plant in early spring with this St. Kitts variety of Roselle, I think you could all the way up to the Georgia-Tennessee line all across there. I think you could grow this without any problem. You got to get it planted early in the spring. Now this is in the mallow family, such as okra and everything, so it will not germinate in cold soils. You can start this inside, grow your plants out, and transplant it out probably mid-late April and be good with this right here, and it'll mature out on you, plenty of time to harvest it.
It needs a good bit of sunlight. It doesn't grow well in the shade.
A space area. You're not going to want to plant this in a raised bed.
You want to plant it 3 to 5 feet apart.
Yeah.
It gets really large and about 8 foot tall.
Yeah.
And we found the further apart you do it, the bigger the calyxes are.
Yeah. Don't make the mistake of planting it in a root pouch. It gets way too big for that.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, you can put it in an out-of-the-way spot. You planted some of this on the fence road down in the middle of nowhere, and it did fine.
I didn't water it. I didn't fertilize it. I didn't do anything to it. I just mulched it really well. Well-draining soil, slightly acidic, pH of 5.5 to 6.5, if you want to be technical. We've never worried about that. Put you down some good compost, some organic fertilizer before you plant. It does thrive in warm temperatures, 75 to 95 degrees. Cannot tolerate frost. How to store your Roselle. So you can store it fresh. Just rinse it, remove the seeds, and put it in the refrigerator, and it'll last 1 to 2 weeks. Drying is my preferred method. You can also freeze it. Now, I've never done that. Although, when my mother made the jellies, she extracted the juice and froze the juice till she was ready to use it. You can air dry it, sun dry it, dehydrate it, or freeze dry it. I prefer the freeze drying. Although before I had my freeze dryer, I dehydrated it and it did well. You can even dehydrate the seed pods and grind that up for coffee substitute.
I did not know that.
Store in an airtight container. I prefer glass or one of those Mylar bags. Keep it in a cool, dark place, and it will last up 1 to 2 years. Now, we usually use ours up before the next year, so we don't have that. A recipe for hibiscus tea is a cup of dried hibiscus calyxes or 2 cups fresh, 4 cups of water, 2 to 3 tablespoons of honey, or if you prefer sugar, cinnamon stick, 2 cloves, and some fresh lime or orange juice. And I like to add lemon balm, or you can add the lemongrass is really good for it too. You can add ginger, mint, as we did today, orange zest for extra flavor. You just boil your water, put it in some type of steeping container, and voila, you have it. And you can serve it hot or cold. My other one that is my favorite is the turmeric. And this is great for inflammation. Instead of taking Tylenol every day for my arthritis, I take the turmeric. Now, it's also tropical, and it's known for the vibrant yellow rhizomes. And you can use it for cooking, as medicine, and even for dyes. And the Roselle you could use for dyes too. Carrie did that. It's grows best in warm, humid, best in zones 8 through 11. But I think 7 could do it.
Planted early enough, they probably could.
6 to 8 hours of sunlight. It prefers temperatures 70 to 85. Well-draining soil and spacing 12 to 16 inches.
Lots of little shade.
Yeah, it likes a little shade. So I prefer to grow my turmeric in a root pouch. So I can, if I see that it's getting a little brown leaves because of too much sun, I can just slide it over to the shade. It grows from rhizomes, which is root-like stems, not seeds. You want to look for the plump rhizomes that are firm. You don't want them mushy. And
We
no mold.
are pre-selling turmeric, the rhizomes, to plant seed stock. And we'll start shipping out, this month we'll start shipping them out. But here's the thing about turmeric, folks. If you get it, you can go ahead and plant it. It's going to stay in the dirt. It's not going to come up till it gets ready, and that's going to be sometime in May. Or you can leave it, just put it in a paper sack and leave it somewhere. It'll be fine till you want to plant it in May. Either way will work. I would not plant it in a wet area and expect it to make it. But if you're planting a regular sandy loam soil that dries out some, it'll sit there till it gets ready to come up. Now, don't think you're going to plant it now and it's going to pop up in 2 weeks, because it's not. It loves, it's going to be about the end of May before it pops out of the ground there, and you're going to be amazed when it does. And it looks kind of like a tropical plant that you've seen in the house plant that you've seen at the doctor's office or somewhere like that. It has that nice green leaf
Almost
to it.
like a peace lily.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does flower. I had one to flower last year, and it was gorgeous. When you're growing from rhizomes, you want to, like I say, use the fresh with the small buds and cut it into 2 to 3 inches and have 1 to 2 buds on each rhizome. Plant 2 to 3 inches deep with the buds pointing up. Water lightly, keep the moist but not soggy.
Yep.
You can mulch it, although I didn't. Fertilize it once a month. It says you can prune the leaves to encourage growth, but I never did that. And it thrives in humidity. So in really dry climates, you might want to mist it once a day.
Yeah, our turmeric is organic. It's grown in North Florida, and I visited the farm down there a couple of times where it's grown. It's a pretty amazing process there. It's actually grown underneath shade cloth. So they grow it underneath a little shade cloth there. They harvest it, they grate it out, and we get the bigger turmeric rhizomes off there for the seed stock, although it really doesn't matter. You can plant the small ones and they'll do fine, but we normally get the bigger ones for our seed stock. Do you know what they do with the smaller ones?
What?
They put them in some dog feed.
Oh, really?
Dog feed for
That's
to help.
interesting.
To help. There's an Amish guy up in Pennsylvania that makes this dog feed supplement, and they put the small rhizomes. They put it in that dog food to help pets. It has a lot of medicinal purposes to help with the pets.
When to harvest is usually 8 to 10 months after planting. So this is something that's going to take up space and for a long time, but it's well worth it.
It's one of those things you'll forget about, and you'll walk by every now and then and say, "Ain't that pretty?" And that's my turmeric.
Yeah. Storing, you can store in a fridge for 2 to 3 weeks. You can freeze the turmeric for up to 6 months. You can dry it and make a powder out of it, and that's my preferred way.
But I got to put that pepper in there for absorption.
Yes. You can store it in an airtight jar for up to a year. So what's your 2 favorite?
All right, here we go. Stevia candy. Candy is the variety name, candy stevia, and I love growing this right here. Now this is the one she talked about a while ago that you need to cut back. The more you cut this back, the better it does, because we won't eat that new growth here. But I tell you what I love about candy stevia. I love to walk through the garden when we have visitors, and I pick some off and I hand it to them. I said, "You got to taste this and tell me what it is," because it always blows them away when they taste the candy stevia. It is sweet, but it's got a little bit of a different flavor than what your sugars was. It's got a little bit on the end. To me, it's got a little bit different.
I'll put some on my tea.
Yeah, that was a good idea. We should put more in there. Yep.
I put some fresh stevia in the tea.
But wonderful plant, easy to grow. Now, I grow this in a raised bed. Excuse me. I normally plant a pretty good bit because I love to give away the plants. Several people here at the office, I give plants away too. And I'll save me enough to plant in a little raised bed. And that's the way I grow. A root pouch would be wonderful. Raised bed, I think, is a plenty for the average person there. It's a warm season herb. You like to plant it in the springtime. You can grow it all the way to frost. It does wonderful. And this variety right here called candy, we get this out of the UK. It's one of the better varieties that I've seen right there, and what a wonderful name. 50 to 60 days to maturity. I think you can harvest way more than that. But I plant this, I cover this up, planted about 1/4 inch deep. I don't have any problem growing stevia.
That tasted that with the stevia dried in there.
That's off the chain, ain't it?
It is.
My second one, folks, is the toothache plant or lemon drops. Now, I'm going to attempt to say the proper name for this is placentus.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to you? We're going to leave that alone, and we're just going to go back to the toothache plant lemon drops. I'm almost ashamed to tell y'all this, but I first saw this about 4 years ago in Des Moines, Iowa, at an All-American Selection trial. And I seen this, and I was blown away by not by what it does, but how beautiful the plant was. This thing actually makes a wonderful ornamental plant. It doesn't get very high. What would you say at the most? 12 inches? But it loads up with these lemon drop blooms right here that you see right there. You getting a call? And this stuff right here is easy to grow. Now, it's not the easiest to germinate. I'll tell you that. I have a little bit of trouble with germinating this right here.
And you say that in my raised bed where I have that, it comes back.
It comes right back.
It reseeds.
But I don't know, something about putting it and babying it in a greenhouse. I think I probably babied it a little too much. But I have a little bit of problem, but I can get plenty of it up for us. We planted it in a 4x8 raised bed, and we had plenty. Now, this is another one right here that I love to carry people through the garden, and I let them taste the stevia. Then I carry them around that, and I say, I want you to taste this leaf right here because it will numb your mouth. Now, it doesn't have, it's not that bad, but it will just actually numb your mouth, and everybody just gets a kick out of what it does to your mouth there. I actually used it last year. I had some mouth issues, and I used it for some medicinal purposes here. It's fun to grow. It's pretty to grow.
It's great in a tincture.
Yep. So those are my two. Now we have a garden kit here, and the herb garden collection right there. And I don't even know what all's in this. Let's just run through this real quick here. If you just want to buy you a collection, and then we're going to have to tell everybody about Tracy. All right, so what's in this is the cilantro. This is the Italian parsley. This is boudic dill. These are all tarragon, thyme, and lemon basil. These are all herbs that you would use to flavor your cooking. Great kitchen culinary types. All right, folks. So we have a friend of ours, a good friend of ours, Tracy and Jean, Just Dig It Farms, out of Alabama over there. And Tracy's got a YouTube channel called Just Dig It Farms. Tracy is one of the ones that we look to for advice. She gives us inspiration. She is the guru on growing herbs, specifically medicinal herbs. But Tracy's just a good grower all around, and she knows way more than we do. So check out Tracy at Just Dig It Farms there. Jean makes the occasional pop-up on the channel, and they're just a hoot to watch. Great folks, good friends of ours, and we just think the world of them. But you got to check out Tracy. She is just a world of information there. And we have medicinal herb kits that Tracy helped us put together there. So if you're never grown herbs before, and maybe you've been a lifelong gardener like I have, it's an interesting road to go down. It's fun. We also, here's the medicinal herb collection we have. We have the premium that Tracy helped us put together, and also the deluxe right there.
And when you order those, it comes with markers and also cards on how to...
quick reference cards.
Reference cards. And if you scan the QR code on the back, it will take you to the growing guides that show you exactly how to grow it. But it's got all types of information related to it. And Tracy helped us develop these.
And we don't want to take the glory for that, because we would have never got there without Tracy's help.
Okay.
All right. That is good. That's delicious in there, to try it in there. I like that. We should have done that more often.
Yeah.
All right, folks, so let's do some housekeeping here. Let me tell you what we got going on. We got, as we mentioned, turmeric pre-sales, and we're going to start shipping this in March, but you can also order it for April or May, I believe, shipments. And look here, don't be in no big hurry. If you want to get it in March, that's fine, but April and May will be perfect right there. We normally sell out in May, so you may want to go ahead and pre-buy them, select your shipping month, and then we'll have it, and when it comes time, we'll ship them to you. Plant sales. We got tomato and pepper plants for pre-sale. We're going to start shipping them around the end of March, so you can go on the website. You can pick a window of when you want them shipped. We got the same tomato plants we had last year. We got Red Snapper, we got Halcinator, we got Shelby, we got Better Boy, plus, I feel like I'm missing one there.
There's just four.
And then we got the peppers. We got the Gold Rush Banana Pepper. We got the Poblano. We got the Bell, and we got the Halcinator Jalapeno. So, and we may have a little special there. We don't have them on the website, but I've got a few Raja Cheyenne growing. We're going to have available sometime during the spring.
Good deal. Asparagus crowns.
Asparagus crowns is, you can buy those. We're going to be shipping out March, April, and May, if I'm not mistaken, there the middle of the month. So you can pick your shipping window on those as well. We got Millennium, we got Mary Washington, we got the purple asparagus there. So if you've got need some asparagus crowns, these are top quality right there. We're going to get them in. We're going to turn around and ship them to you, so it'll be nice and fresh.
We still have a small amount of elephant garlic, if you haven't planted that yet. And
if you live up north, you can grow elephant garlic in the summertime, fine.
And seed potatoes.
Seed potatoes.
You just got yours planted.
We got a few seed potatoes left, and sweet potato slips we've got pre-sale. So you can order your sweet potato slips and you can pick your. Well, I don't think you can pick your shipping window on the sweet potatoes, because the grower we use ships those according to when you need to plant them. So you order your sweet potato slips and they'll ship them to you when you need to plant them. That's the way the sweet potato thing works. All right, folks, I got something new for you right here. If you live in the state of Georgia, maybe middle Georgia, there's a venue that goes on around Watkinsville, Georgia, twice a year. And it's called the Georgia Bushcraft Days, or Georgia Bushcraft something. This thing has really blown up in the last couple of years. Watkinsville is right south of Athens, right there, beautiful place. But these guys have put this thing on, and they do classes. They have vendors come in. They have this big camp out thing. We're definitely going this fall. We're going to try to they do twice a year, these spring and fall fall being the biggest one by far, but the spring one, they call it the spring gathering. And it is April 4th and 6th is the spring gathering for Georgia Bushcraft in Watkinsville, Georgia. Go to their website, Georgia Bushcraft, and check that out. I think it's an awesome venue. We're going to be part of it this year as far as sponsors, and I hope we can be there come fall with a booth and everything. I'm looking forward to that.
I want to share what I got in the mail.
All right.
I was so excited. If you don't know, I love hibiscus, and I like the native hibiscus. So Terry Brown from Pasadena, Texas, sent me, she said she's an avid watcher of Row by Row, and she wanted me to have these Texas Star hibiscus. They've been in her family for many years, so she sent me 2 different types.
And she put little notes in there which ones it was. So you got plenty of seed, my goodness.
She says, I think they would make a lovely addition to your plants. Plant them this spring, they're fast growing. They freeze in the winter, but they will come back. So I'm going to plant those today.
Yeah, you're real excited about this.
I am.
We can't go fishing. If we go fishing, and Mama Hall spots a wild hibiscus over there, it could wherever it's going. The world has to stop. We have to go collect seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I like them too. I tell you what, you love native azaleas is my thing. I love
really?
native azaleas. They are really rare.
I do. I get so excited when I see a native hibiscus. And thank you, Terry, so much. And I'll share pictures of these.
All right, so we've got the old goat on the show somewhere. He moves around. If you spot the old goat and he's a figurine, tell us where he's in the comments below. And we're doing a drawing for last week's winner. Next week, we'll do a drawing for this week's winner. And this week's winner is... Oh, boy. I thought it was a bad name, but it's not, though. Cindy Recope.
7140
7140
is your username on YouTube. Send us your shipping address to Growhouse, support@growhouse.com.
And Cindy, you will be the recipient of the famous Get Dirty socks right there.
You didn't do the garden spotlight.
We're going to.
Okay.
All right, let me get to my notes here. I had a lot of notes today. If I can find them.
So our garden spotlight today is James Perry from Lumberton, North Carolina. It was his first time growing cabbage, and it was a treat with the Green Boy hybrid cabbage.
Oh, here they are. Y'all can see this. He's got, my goodness, look at that Hoss. Hoss Hodden got his nice cabbage in there.
He said he had 100% germination when he started his seeds. They aren't quite as big as I like them to be, but with the deep freeze coming to south of North Carolina, he harvested them early.
Yep.
He said, thank you for creating a company that actually cares about their products. I will definitely be a Hoss customer for life.
Yeah, we got some new cabbage varieties we're looking at. So cabbage is making some headway there. And also, folks, subscription boxes. We have opened up the subscription boxes, our small sprout, seeds of the month, and heavy harvester to all 48 states. So if you're interested in our subscription box, which I think is a perfect product, so that you get everything you need every month to keep your gardening going on every month, you get seeds. You get supplies. And you know what? Fertilizers, pot and soil, all that kind of stuff, which are consumables you need to keep on hand. You get some of those every month. This month, you're getting a unique product, and you're getting a product nobody else is going to have. It's a new calcium product. It's going to help with blossom end rot on tomatoes there. You get all kinds of stuff. So you get exclusive courses to help you be successful gardening. You get exclusive discounts every month on our website. You get exclusive preview at new products, so you get first chance at tomato plugs and pepper plugs and other products like that right there. And you get a curated box every month with everything you need in there you can use to
exclusive videos.
Exclusive videos, yep.
Do you have a group?
No, that's a tough question. I don't know if we do yet or not. We're going to. And we're making some headways. We're doing a better job. We're going to start doing a better job with our insert in there. But it's really, people's really enjoying it. And I think it's a no-brainer. No-brainer. Well, you get way more than your value
Takes
every month.
the guesswork out of it.
Takes the guesswork out of it. Yeah.
And you are their own garden coach.
Garden coach. You have a garden coach to walk you through the journey of being successful. And at some point, you're going to get some this year, but at some point, what we really want to do is to be able to bring you exclusive fresh seeds that you can be more successful with, maybe kick up our game a little bit with some of the quality of seeds, so we know in advance what we plan on doing the thing there, and we can plan out and we can get some really cool stuff going on. And I'm leaning toward that, and I'm not telling you, but I'm talking about prime seed. Prime seed is something that we can get. It don't have much of a shelf life, but the thing about these things germinate so much quicker. So I want to get into some more prime seeds, and the first ones to be getting these prime seeds will be our people in our subscription box.
Okay.
All right, thank y'all for joining us. Hope we enlightened you a little bit on herbs. Herbs are fun. You should be growing them, even in a small way. Try something as far as herbs, whether it be calendula, whether it be basil, whether it be turmeric or whatever. Dip your foot into it. Look here, I can promise you'll be excited about it.
You'll get addicted.
You'll get addicted to it. It's a wonderful way. We enjoy our teas. We just enjoy it. It's fun to grow and they're fun to use. So thank you for joining. Get outside. It's springtime. The weather's turning around, and get those hands dirty.